Owen, thanks very much for joining us. We're here in our wonderful surroundings, pre-season camp in the Netherlands. The squad arrived last night. What have the first impressions been?
It's been very good. I mean, I think it's always nice, and it's always important that when you come into a new environment, that allows some of the new players that we've added to the squad. That being said, we will continue to do that. So the squad we have here is nowhere near the squad that will take in terms of the start of the season, but it's important that we get that pre-season conditioning under our belt, and the facilities here provide that. 2, 3 possibly wonderful training fields, a good environment for the boys, and we have such a young group that we've brought with us as well, so it's a great experience for them. So yeah, we're delighted with obviously an arrival, but we've already had one training session under our belts, and we're delighted with the conditions that we have.
Yeah, we're obviously halfway through the first day. We've got another session this evening. How important is it from a coaching perspective and even a planning perspective to have all the facilities on site? Obviously the training pitches are only a short walk from the front of the hotel. Yeah,
it's massive. I think obviously when you come abroad, and I've obviously been a bit older as I am, been many places in many different countries, but it's great facilities here. Even the short time we have been, the food's been very good, the hotel been very accommodating, and everything's on site. So the boys got a nice leisurely 10-minute walk to the training ground, out in the fresh air, and then they get to work, because that's what we're here for. We're here to work hard. We're here to, as I say, get that conditioning, get ourselves ready for the start of the season in preparation for that. But obviously got 2 great games lined up against Lokomotiv Zagreb and then Utrecht, 2 wonderfully talented teams, so that'll be a great test for us. But it's great for the younger group in particular to experience these games against good quality opposition, and it'll stand us in good stead for coming back, getting ready for the cup games, of course, which we'll also use as part of our pre-season, then get into a tough season in the championship, but one that we're all looking forward to, one that we're excited by, and making sure that we're going up there to give it our best shot.
And in terms of the week ahead, what are your own expectations and what do you hope to get out of it?
Well, I always say to players, if you equate it to a ladder, we want to be moving up the rungs of that ladder, because I don't expect them today to be ready for that first game of the season, but I expect every day that we're getting inching closer and we're getting there. So what it provides is the physicality in terms of the work we do, but also a mentality as well, that as we showed last year from coming in, that the mentality we have to know how to win games, but we want to play in a style and a manner that's pleasing on the eye and winning at the same time. So it gives you a chance really to lay all that down and bring it on board, and everybody understands what their role and what their responsibilities are within the team.
You touched on how important this type of camp could be for the younger players. We've obviously brought in some new faces as well. How important is it for just creating that togetherness? Because obviously we're together 24/7 for the full week.
Absolutely, and that's a huge part of it. That's a big dynamic, to have that camaraderie, that team spirit, and the more you can add to it, and the more you can build on that, because there'll be tough moments in the seasons, there always are, and when you get tough moments, that's the real testament to, you always hear people saying, oh, we have a great team spirit, and team spirit, it's always great when you're winning, that's great, but the real testimony, the real test of character is when you're not in the difficult moments. That's when you stick together, that's when you show your team spirit. So these, coming away in these camps, these help to build on that and help you that togetherness, getting to know each other, because sometimes, those boys will come in, they'll train, they're away, but now, as you say, 24/7, and they get to know the characters and the personalities, and that's nice as well for us from a coaching point of view, for understanding what the players need and everything else and what they're about. So yeah, we're really enjoying it.
And you touched on the 2 games that we've got this week. Those will be 2 real good challenges, but I presume for the players, but obviously pre-season's a difficult time, those will be a real focus for them. They'll be looking forward to that challenge.
Yeah, they should be, because ultimately, there's, you've got to do the hard work, the training, and as I say, each day looking to step up the rungs of that ladder. But when the games come about, that's why we love football. We love the games, and as I say, playing very good opponents, and of course, really important for players that they get minutes under the belt coming into, for the season proper. So that's the aim. So it's that planning, that putting it all together, and making sure we are. We're certainly we're doing the right things. As we know, within a pre-season, even within games, there'll always be mistakes along the way. But the important thing is that you don't dwell on it. We react quickly, so we understand the process of how we move forward as a team. First, individually, to get themselves in good physical and mental shape to do their very best, because without the physicality, you can't bring the quality. You can be the best player in the world, but you have to be in prime condition, physically and mentally, to be able to show that in the field. So that's a step-by-step process we want to do with the players, making sure that when they're ready to wear that Queen's Park shirt, they're given their very best to play well and to try and win games for our fans.
And you touched on, obviously, the younger players being here. It's quite a large squad we've got. I presume those games will be utilised so that everybody gets an opportunity?
Yeah, there'll be minutes for them all. Obviously, there'll be times within that I have to prioritise and get, obviously, what we deem to be, the certain core players for such, that they have to be getting certainly enough minutes for them. But of course, the opportunity is there every day in training for those young lads. I mean, we'd obviously have a very successful under-18 team last year, and we've given them contracts on the back of that to come in. We've brought them into the environment training with first team players that played at the highest level. So the opportunities for them. So if I was one of those young boys every day, I'd be out there looking to impress and show the coaching staff, I want to be a part of that. And that was part of the reason for bringing it as well, bring them all together, but showing those young boys, because the key moving forward, Sean, is that we've got to show we have a pathway for young players. Of course, I'm charged with the responsibility of trying to, have a winning team and a team that's moving in an upward trajectory, which we're doing, coming in and obviously, winning the playoffs from a position that probably nobody thought we could. But we did it, and we showed that, we know what we're about and how we go about it and how to build teams. And that's what we look to do. But in the big scheme of things, we want to show that there's a clear pathway for these young players to develop and come into the team. And that's what we're going to be about for now and for years to come.
Thanks, Owen.
Pleasure as always.